Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Fraudit Roundup. This is a different type of video, a video I never thought I'd be doing, but I realize now I have to. So if you come over here to laugh at some frauditors, soft sits, it's not what tonight's about. Recently, it's become more apparent to me to talk about Fraudit Wrangler, Michael Kaiser. It's kind of difficult for me. I don't like drama. I don't like to do drama. Count me out. I'm older than most of the people in this community, most of the creators. Don't care about drama at this point in my life. But the tide kind of turned when I started hearing a little bit more from my subs. Now, creators, I'll listen to them. I'll talk to them. I respect a lot of them. But it's the subs that really kind of eat at me a little bit more. At the end of the day, that's who I'm there for, my subs. And it kind of hurts when I hear from subs in my comment section. I've gotten emails. My very first premiere, I heard from one about Michael, and that's what eats at me most. When I first started doing this almost a year ago, I immediately had a Western theme, old-timey sheriff. I had a voice that's really actually a voice I do of a Texas high school football coach, but it can also fit as an old-timey sheriff. So I thought, well, let's do a Western theme. And my channel became Fraudit Wrangler. Well, right before I started putting my videos out, I did a quick Google search because just in case. Sure enough, there was a Fraudit Wrangler out there. So I had to go back and redo some things. But I told the story, he heard it, got a kick out of it, and I guess we kind of got connected that way. And we kind of started, was a little bit of a reverse relationship that he had with Fraudit Troll. Fraudit Troll bought Kaiser to the community, gave him a channel, gave him a platform. And in an opposite way, I was a small channel. We started around the same time, but you grew a little bit more quickly than I did. But he was kind to me, gave me a platform. I was on his panel maybe 8 to 10 times, I'm guessing. And he'd promote my channel every time. He was real kind about it. And sure enough, every time I went on with him, I get a little bit of a bump. And I grew a little bit faster than I thought I could. So again, it's kind of a reverse role from Fraudit Troll. Wrangler was kind of the bigger channel, giving me some exposure. Now, I understand Troll has every right to come out right now, since he's the one that gave Kaiser the platform. So he's got every right to come out and speak out about Kaiser's past and what he's been doing. Now, I was always in the camp of, it's none of my business. I don't want to participate in drama. I don't know what's true. I have a full-time job. I even have a part-time job. I kind of do this on the side, probably making 2 or 3 videos a week. More like 2 a week. So there was a school of mind your business, but there's also the school of you got to speak out. And I was on the going by mind my own business. He's done nothing to me. He helped me out. I'm just not going to say anything. I'm not going to even have time to go back and research all the accusations. There's so much out there, I wouldn't know where to start. But I've heard enough. I've heard enough to know that the claims about his service, they're not true. They're just not true. There's no way. Now, maybe if I were in the service myself, I'd feel a bit more strongly about it. But, it's a terrible thing to make claims like that about service, about military service. you may think that's kind of a benign thing. You're just making claims to exaggerate your history. But I believe stolen valor, you're actually stealing from others who have actually served. I think it is a more tangible thing, stolen valor. Now, he did serve. He does have a DD-214. But to say he exaggerated what he did in the military is a gross understatement. So I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not going to speculate on whether or not he's committed that. But just the fact that you're making those claims alone, it's terrible enough. The other big thing that really bothered me with the situation with Blackheart Night, just found a way to spin that. Blackheart is another channel that's been really good to me. So it bothered me. Again, there's really not a way to spin that whole situation. And I really hate even bringing up the situation where I think he was the only suspect in a terrible crime against Donald Cameron. Now, I strongly believe everyone deserves their day in court. Now, he may have gotten out of it due to a technicality. So, even though it looks terrible, and I think sometime he's going to have to answer for it. I've told him before that he's got to answer for his past, but it's not to me. I don't owe anybody here an explanation for the things I've done in my past. I don't think anybody in this community owes me an explanation for things they've done in the past. But it's hard for me to sit up here and make fun of frauditors, soft-sits, and criticize them on a daily basis while ignoring the things in our community. I've thought before, I don't cover Ass Elmo because he hit a woman or did something indecent when he was a child. I don't cover these guys because they've hit women. That's not what my channel's about. I'll mention it. And I guess maybe in the back of my head, I kind of use that as an out. And I also didn't really realize how many people actually cared what I think. I asked around to some creators, and almost all of them said that if I say something, it would be a good thing. I can say that none of them pushed me to do something. None of them urged me. The response was either, yeah, you should say something, or only say something if you want to. And I've got that little complex in the back of my head that no one really cares what I think. Not in a negative way, but I'm just, I don't put too much stock in myself. But again, I've been urged since some of my growth has been based on my relationship with Wrangler. So again, it's kind of a reverse situation from him and Troll. Troll gave him a platform. Now, I've been platformed a little bit in a way by Wrangler, along with Fraudit or Troll, Blackheart Night, Hezekiah. Miss Mandy gave me some time too. So in a way, I think I do owe at least a statement. Now, since Troll's infamous live stream where this all first came out, I had sent an email the night before when I think Troll announced he was going to do something. Emailed him asking, hey, I'd like to go on panel. I'll go up there and defend him. I really hadn't heard anything of what was happening before that. But, he was a nice guy to me and he had my back. I'll go get his back. Now, obviously, I wasn't one of the most important people up there on the panel. There's, a lot of people that had, more credibility and more recognition than I did. So I had to wait a little bit, which is cool. That's fine. But as I was sitting there on hold and I heard the stories starting to come out, it just got worse and worse. And my jaw was dropping. One of the things that bugged me was when he was pressed on his military service, and I guess MSG Retired had released a video that same day. He was urged to stay on and defend himself, and he didn't. Of course, he had his own stream, which is, understandable. That's why he had to go. But if those accusations are coming, I think you'd want to stick around and defend your name. And he didn't stay. But what bothered me more than him not staying was that a lot of the answers were, I've already addressed that, I'm not going to say it. That's not a good answer. If you're accused of some of the things that he was being accused of, that's simply not good enough. It's easy to give ammunition to people who say you're guilty. If you had the truth on your side, you'd shout it from the rooftops. You'd be late to your stream. But he didn't do that. And I was really disappointed that he didn't do that. And I think the sad thing is, if he would have admitted to it, this would have blown over a long time ago. Now we can sit here and speculate on how much did he exaggerate. It's a little bit, a lot, doesn't matter. So let me kind of wrap this up right now. Just a couple of main points. I think he's lying about his military service. I think that's obvious. Situation with Donald Cameron looks terrible. I'm not going to speculate. He hasn't had a day in court. But it looks terrible. He wronged Blackheart Knight. But nothing is really changing going forward. Since the infamous stream, I showed up in his comment section during live streams twice. Once was the very night I showed up and let him know. I did let him know I was upset at what I heard. That I was disappointed. The only other time was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I just popped in and I just made a comment. Just wanted to kind of see how people reacted. And I got a lot of hate just for showing up. And that's fine. So, I've disassociated with him. And tonight I'm just making that official. I just want a clean conscience. So in that spirit, I'm going to close by talking directly to Michael. Michael, thank you. I really do want to thank you for helping me. You helped my channel grow. You supported me. You had my back when Josh Abrams gave me a false copyright strike. I won't forget that. You made a video and you warned him not to come after channels like mine. That was nice. You didn't have to do that. And I try to be loyal. So I want to wish you luck going forward. But I also want you to remember the things you've done in the past have been horrible. Even the stuff you've admitted to is horrible. And I hope you continue to try and build your life, build a better life. And I urge you, if there's anything you haven't copped to that you want to, do it sooner than later. I urge you. And whatever things are still out there, I understand there are still some felonies out there that you have to answer to. And you need to answer to them. And if needed, you need to pay for them. So I'm sorry it's come to this, but I just had to speak out. It's hard to condemn somebody who's been so good to you, but I just think it's the right thing to do. So thank you, everybody, for listening. The sun truly is going down right now. And I'm going to head inside cuddle up with my wife and a cold glass of Sauvignon Blanc. So good night, everybody. I bid you adieu.